I'm sure you love watching attendees pour out of your theater, quickly striking up conversations with each other about the ideas they've just seen in your theater. TED loves seeing that same reaction at TED conferences because we know that when ideas are processed together, rather than in isolation, it multiplies the impact that idea has on our lives. In a group, we debate, we see ideas holistically, and we're more motivated to take action. These face-to-face conversations are incredibly meaningful, but for TED and TEDx attendees, they happen a few times a year at best. And that's leaving out our online viewers, as well as people who don't know about TED and TEDx. Since it's so valuable to TED's mission to have these meaningful interactions, we started thinking about ways that TED could offer a simple format for small groups of people to frequently meet. Friends, a US sitcom from the 90s, makes it look like everyday life. But we know that right now it's something that's happening less and less at a time when the world needs it more and more. At TED Summit, Chris shared how he saw TED Circles filling that void. Since then, a number of TEDx organizers have volunteered to host circles. Some organizers have heard about it on the Facebook group, maybe even in the hub, and others are hearing about it for the first time. So I'm excited to be with you all now to share how it works, what we're learning in the pilot, and invite you to determine how it could empower your TEDx community. When we started thinking about ways that TED could offer that simple format for small groups of people to get together to talk about ideas, we saw that there were 3 priorities that would increase the magnitude of impact these small groups would have. One is that it needed to be viral. We need lots, I mean lots of TED Circles. The second is sticky. Circles need to meet regularly, at least monthly, ideally weekly, so that the bonds of people that live near each other are strengthened and they're moved closer to action. And linked, relating circle conversations through a shared theme so that each of their conversations cross-pollinate each other and converge into a global conversation. With those priorities, we spoke across TED's teams to think about the high-level vision for these small groups. We outlined it would work like this. A volunteer host would invite their friends, colleagues, neighbors, strangers, a mix, to their home, to their office, to the park, maybe a cafe, you decide, to watch a talk and then talk about the questions that it brings up for them, the ideas and the insights, as well as what they want to take forward into their lives. To sync up and support these conversations, TED would program monthly themes that were broad and globally relevant. We would recommend talks that really spark discussion and write conversation starters of open-ended questions that really keep the conversation going and engage a variety of opinions. So we took that vision to TED Summit, where we asked the attendees how this could potentially add value for their community, and they affirmed it. They even said that with a little bit of TED support, they'd be willing to hop on board and help us pilot it. And so the TED Circles pilot was born. We went straight to work and started laying out monthly themes. September was World of Wonder, October, How to Be a Better Human, and November is Justice in Society. Finding talks that discuss a number of ideas of different topics within that theme, writing conversation starters that are specific to that talk. And these talks came from TED, TEDx, and TED-Ed. We shared them with the TED translators to ensure that the conversations in circles are accessible for all. And then we created a website of everything pilot hosts would need, including host resources with tips and templates, a short survey so we could gather feedback, a private Slack channel so hosts were in touch with each other. They could ask questions, share stories, send photos. 5 quick rules of engagement, social media pages, and a form where circle hosts list the location and date of their circle so it's officially designated. And as you can see, there are lots of them. In fact, in September, 84 volunteers hosted circles. Some hosted more than one. So we ended up with 108 circles that reached over 1,000 guests in 24 countries in the first month alone. And in October, 97 hosts volunteered, hosting 116 circles altogether, reaching nearly 1,300 guests in 37 countries. When asked how willing they were to do it again, 95% of them rate it a 10 out of 10. And they're not just saying that. 80% are coming back month after month, with new hosts joining the program nearly every day. So it's no wonder November is trending to be even bigger than October, and we already see hosts scheduling their circles for December and beyond. But more important than the stats are the stories. In photos, we see sweet expressions and engaged faces and really clever branding that I'm excited to share with you. We see cozy evenings at home with yummy food and TED red slippers and even groupies. We see clever branding with thank you cards and treats and t-shirts. We see a resourceful usage of community spaces such as libraries, community centers, and co-working spaces where, you won't be surprised, a TEDx organizer has taken inspiration from the X and made it a C. We'll see if it catches on. Some other groups are also doing the double to create the circle. Who knows? We also see students of all ages. Also online circles and outdoor circles, taking the program quite literally to new heights with a drone shot over the Spain-Portugal border. In addition to what we're seeing, I'm excited to share with you what we're hearing. One host captured a sentiment we hear from so many, which is that I know lots of people watch the same TED Talk, but it's something special to know we're sharing the same ideas at the same time. And one host shared directly.
Personally, but I am loving this kind of creative, this creative opportunity for us each to interpret what circles means to our different events, and how within each circle that can change depending on who you're targeting it at.
Now we want to talk about the guest experience. One guest shared a sentiment which is very powerful. I met people who are different than me. We celebrated that. Do more of these, please. And one host shared a guest experience directly.
One was a retired judge that was one of the attendees and the participants, and his wife actually phoned me 2 days later saying that was the best thing he's ever done since he retired. He's been talking about it for 2 days afterwards because he's just been feeling a bit lost after he retired, and he hasn't had the chance to debate and do what he used to do in his job, and hear different opinions and try and come up with a balanced viewpoint. And so he's literally talked about it for 2 days afterwards.
So take it from them. TED Circles spark conversation and they unite community, which all TEDxers care about. So we're excited for you to know about this program and consider how it could bring your community together between your events. TED Circles are available for anyone to host who officially registers with TED. So potentially see this as something for your attendees, your speakers, and your volunteers to lead. They're fun, energizing, free, and open to everyone. So I'm really excited for you to know about this program, and I want you to know that you can find out more information on our website, tedcircles.com, and you're always welcome to speak with me. Thank you.